August is right around the corner and many students are getting ready to go to foreign universities.
Now, for many Indians, going abroad for a well-paying job is a dream.
That Indians have become one of the largest group of immigrants.
Hi everybody. According to the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, as of 2023, there are 32 million Indian people living abroad. More than 1 million students have reported studying abroad in over 85 countries. By 2024, the number of Indian students studying abroad is expected to reach 1.8 million. And while most of people might think it's not a big deal at all, I want to tell you that when these talented people leave India, it costs Indian economy an incentive of $70 billion or 1,41,000 crore rupees every single year. Does you know how much this? That is near equal to the total market capitalization of Tata Steel, more than 2.8 times the net profit of State Bank of India, 15 times the profit of Wipro, and 82 times the profit of India's leading pharma company Sun Pharma. This, my dear friend, is bleeding the Indian economy every single year. And as a citizen of the country, this is the one of the burning issue that we must address if we want to become a $10 trillion economy. So in this special case study, let's take a deep dive and try to figure out what is so terrible wrong with the design of Indian education that the nation has become a dalal of talent to the rest of. If you find this case study valuable, please share this video with as many people as you can. It will help the people to understand the fundamental cause of India's talent dominance. This is a story date back to the 1947 India. This is when India just got independence and the British has ruined the Indian civilization to such an extent that when they left us, we had 80% of our population struggling with poverty and the literacy rate in India was hardly 12%. This is when the first Prime Minister of India, Honorable Jawaharlal Nehru, realized that if we as a country want to progress, we must have a systematic approach to producing the best engineering and science talent in our country. Because without them, we cannot build dams, power plant, or manufacturing unit, and we cannot progress as a nation without infrastructure. This is the reason Honorable Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru set out to build a group of outstanding engineering institutes in India. These institutes are known as the Indian Institute of Technology or IIT. Everything was given to the IIT so that they can nurture the best engineering talent of India, and just like Nehru indeed, the IIT did produce some of the best engineering students in our country. However, the sad reality is that even then, some of the IIT graduates left in India in order to either study or work abroad. According to the several news reports, approximately 25 to 30,000 IITians have moved in the United States since 1953. The question is why, while the number of super skill IITs increased in the Indian job market, the Indian job market was far behind him. As a result, even though IITs had the skill to contribute to India's growth, the business ecosystem in India was not capable enough to recruit them. So this begs the question, what the hell was wrong with the Indian business ecosystem? The reality is that if you become a blockchain specialist or machine learning engineer and there are not enough jobs available in India, why would you waste your time in India when you can make thousands of dollars per year in US? This was and still in the case with IITs, where students, despite having very high skill, do not find a great job opportunity in India. If you look at the cost of the situation to the Indian economy, the Indian government spent around 84,000 crore on education alone in the year. When these students go abroad and study, as much as $70 billion per year is lost in government revenue. Now the question we hear is, IITs keep leaving India, that is fine, but most of our students are not from IITs. Then why did they leave India? Take IITs as an example. Every year, over 10 lakh students take the main exam. Out of these, only 17,300 students get admitted to the IITs as of 2023. This is only 1.73% of all applications, and even if all recognized engineering institutes like NITs are considered, only 1 lakh students get admitted to the reliable engineering institute. So by default, apart from these 1 lakh students, the rest of students are excluded from the high quality education straight away. So what happens to the 9 lakh plus students every year? Well, they get into the B and C grade engineering college where there is super outdated syllabus and a teacher. Despite the fact that the primary purpose of colleges is to impart skill, these bureaucratic professors obsess over too much of the useless country attribute of the engineering, which is marks and 75% of attendance. That even after 4 long years of education, 80% of our engineering students are unemployable. Which means even if there are a ton of job opportunity, our engineers do not even have the skill to qualify for the job. So what do these students do? Very simple. If they are rich, they give the GRE or GMAT exam to go the US or UK, study there for another 2 years and become a capable engineer. And then They spend the next 20 to 30 years in the US or UK as well-paid tax citizens. And if they are poor, they struggle to get a job, remains unemployed in India, and eventually become a liability to the country. And this is not just applicable for engineer, but even for the doctor. So do you see what happening over here? India has become the perfect talent agent for America. So we train people in bulk, and whoever does well, they get to the US and they become an asset for them, and they pay taxes over there. And whoever doesn't, they remains in India as a liability to us. So anybody who has the will to study and acquire a skill must be given a fair chance at the equality education. But as of now, you will see here there is so much disparity in government spending that 26% of the government higher education budget is spent on just IITs. That is 4,135 crores on just 13,300 students. So only 1.1% of the total students studying in the government higher level education institute get the benefit of 26% of the government funding. In fact, the central government fund for higher education of 2018, the government spent more than 50% of higher education fund on less than 3% of the students. So do you see the gap over here? The rest of the 97% of the students are deprived of government funding and opportunity, because of which an Indian talent prefer to leave India rather than struggling both lack of education and lack of opportunity in India. These are some of the most important reasons for the brain drain problem of India. So the question we hear is, what we do about it, and what are the recommended steps to be taken by the government and the business in India to fix this burning issue of the brain drain. Colleges must need to build something called industry academic connect. But today, unfortunately, colleges and professors both have no idea about what kind of people and skill are needed in the market now. From the government standpoint, the government of India needs to study and publish a report that educate the Indians about the growing job market all across the world. And every year we need to find how much skilled workforce is required and in which domain. So unless the government fixes this supply demand mismatch, the messed up college in India will keep on making a ton of money, and the nation will keep. Secondly, Indian education must not be exclusive. This means lowering the barrier to entry to education. For example, if there is 10th or 12th standard kid in the country who want to become IAS, by default, he or she must have the access to the world class. If they want to become a stock trader, they must have access to the world class library of stock markets lessons. If you learn something available, please make sure to hit the like button for much insightful business and political case studies. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.